Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, home of the Selinsgrove area high school Seals, where tonight they will play host to the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes as they travel here in the most crucial game of the season for the Red Tornadoes. It's been an up and down season. The Red Tornadoes have pulled it together in the last half of the season, and they now have their largest hurdle of the season sitting in front of them, dressed in that red and white down there, the blue helmets, and that'll be the Selinsgrove Seals. Mount Carmel area wins the game tonight. They go into districts, and they'll be seeded depending on where some other teams end up tonight. They're all important Wyalusing Towanda game is being played tonight. So if we win, it'll just be a decision of where we'll be seated in the district. If we lose, there's a very, very good chance we start the basketball season tomorrow morning. That's how important this game will be for the Red Tornadoes. Wayne, does it get much bigger than this before you get into the playoffs?
Well, I'll tell you take a look at the history of these two teams playing, and you got a rivalry going here. The last 2 years, the Seals coming in and, pretty much handling everything Mount Carmel threw at them, even with Johnny Veach on the team running at the halfback position last year. Lawver, of course, the man in the hour last year, just did about everything that was possible on the football field and put up the points, put up the big yardage, made the big plays when he had to make the big plays. If you remember, we came back within a touchdown, and as soon as we kicked off, what happens, he breaks it open, takes it back for a touchdown on the opening kickoff of the second half, and again we're down by two touchdowns. We take the football again on the kickoff, we drive down and score, get within one, but we just could not do what we had to do last year, and Lawver just had an outstanding game. Again, coming into this season, as you said, this is it. This is the season for the Tornadoes. Win, we go on, lose, we pack it up and start again preseason during the summertime. Taking a look here at this Selinsgrove team, another big team, and they've come out with some very big teams in the last couple of years, Warren. Some of the largest teams that we've seen, of course, although they have a large drawing here, AAA school, so on and so forth. There are two losses this year coming from, of course, Southern area, 35-7 loss there, and also Milton, a 48-14, which was really a surprise, and we know that Shamokin had beat Milton at the beginning. Now, Milton picked at the beginning of the season to be the district champs. Two very lopsided scores. And I think in that game, though, against Milton is where Lawver had gotten injured. Coming back slow but sure, this is the kid that we have to watch tonight. He has 118 carries for over 1,100 yards on the season. Even if we stop him, you have to look at Hackenberg, the other running back, 162 carries for also 1,100 yards. So, you have to watch one. You just can't say we're going to shut Lawver down and win this game. We have to play an all-around game.
The Seals will receive to begin this football game tonight. The Tornadoes will kick off. White Camp number 9 getting the ball placed down there, and that truly is what this game's going to boil down to. It's a game where the seniors are going to stand up for the Red Tornadoes and say, we're going to go forward, we're going to win this game. Selinsgrove is not the kind of team that's going to fool you. They're going to line up and they're going to pound at you. If you stop them, you beat them. If you don't, they win. There's nothing fancy. There's nothing that you don't see for them. They're going to put Lawver and Hackenberg back there. Occasionally Pagano will pass, but not much. And the kickoff is now off. He sends it down there into the corner, and that's Lawver, number 44, right away with the ball. And he'll be brought down hard down there at the 37-yard line, where the Seals will take over 1st and 10. Seals pretty much a running team, although Pagano will pass when he needs to, and he can pass. And as you said, the odd thing about these Seals are in the two games they lost, they got a pounding in both of them. They weren't even in the football game in the two games that they got beaten at, so it'll be interesting to see how they react here tonight. Of course, they're in district play. They can only change where they're seated also.
Let's go Red.
Pagano's going to go back to pass very early in here, and he sends it down there. And he was trying to hit number 81 down there for the Seals. That's Bill Berry, the senior, but just over his head and out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Seals.
It's sort of a little surprise coming out, throwing the ball into the flat in the very first play. again, they're noted to run the ball, running straight ahead, right at you, smash mouth. And that's the way they control the game. And this sort of surprises us here.
Pagano line him up. And this time he's going to hand the ball off on an inside run there. It looks like Hackenberg with the ball. Yeah. Hackenberg's only going to pick up a couple of yards. He'll get up to just about the, sorry, at the 30-yard line?
Just about at the 30.
The 27 is where we placed it. I said the 37. I'm sorry. It was the 27 for the original placement. So he's at the 30-yard line now. It's going to bring up a third down now and about 8 for the Seals, as they have gone nowhere in the first 2 downs. Brings a guy wide left on him here, and he has a man in motion now as he passes behind Pagana. And Pagana, he'll go back to pass, and he looks again, and he is buried. The Red Tornadoes bury him down there, and that's big number 51, Swank.
Swank and Buggy. Buggy comes in, and of course, if you take a look at that replay there, comes in from the left side and completely overruns the blocker in the backfield and makes the tackle on Pagana.
So it brings up a 4th down, and the Seals are going to be forced to punt here. Number, is that 30 down there, Wayne?
23.
23, and that's Zach Lentes. Will do the punting chores, and he gets one off there. He heads it in Leonovich's direction, and that's who's going to take it. He takes it at his own 40, and he's going to gain about 3 yards on that on return. He'll bring it up to the 43-yard line. The Red Tornadoes in good field position. 1st and 10 here to start the first offensive series off tonight.
A strange offensive series there for Selinsgrove, for the Seals. You'd think that they would have come out and ran at you with what they have done the best all season long. And, of course, the Tornadoes stand up to what they had to put up there. Great defensive stand in the first series.
Olszynski brings him up. He hands it right to Pilarski. Pilarski goes over the 45-yard line up to about the 46-yard line. Pick up a 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Red Tornadoes.
Again, just a straight dive to Pilarski. That's all we're trying here. And again, as we said all along, that you're looking at 2 teams going to feel each other out a little bit, especially in the line position. That's where you want to try to start dominating, watching what stunts are being done on defense and who's pulling on offense and so on.
The Seals, not quite as big a team up front as we've had seen the last few years. They're all pretty much the same size, and they're not overwhelming as they were in the last few years as Matsura goes in motion. And he throws it to Matsura, and Matsura's going to be stopped down there behind the line of scrimmage on a good tackle by number 35, the co-captain Ryan Martin for the Seals. But there's also a penalty, and that play looked kind of odd as it was moving there. So the Red Tornadoes will be penalized here. An illegal shift. It's declined. The Seals will decline it since it was a loss. It's now going to bring up a 3rd down and about 11 for the Red Tornadoes.
Now what you're saying, Coach will try a play like that, put Matsura over there, catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage, watch how the defense will react. That was a quick reaction by the deep cornerback. He might come back with the same play and just run Matsura straight down the field.
Olszynski in shotgun. He's got some pressure, but he looks at it. He's got Medalis open.
Look at that.
Middle of the field. It's going to be 1st down in Seal territory as Medalis takes it down to the 37-yard line on a picture-perfect pass play from Shinsky to Medalis.
Some good blocking by the interior line there. We have number 45, Mike Lashinsky, taking the flat as the relief, but take a look at Medalis, number 1. He finds the open seam 19 yards downfield for a 1st down.
So a big offensive play puts the Red Tornadoes in Seal territory early here in the first quarter of play. And this time it's the big guy, Brown. And Brown rumbles the ball down to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 8 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Red Tornadoes.
Oh boy,
and Brown has been unstoppable so far in the last 2 games for the Red Tornadoes.
We saw him last week against Wyalusing. You give him just a little bit of a hole. Take a look. There's 4 Seals trying to make the tackle on Dave Brown. He had 97 yards last week, and I think 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken.
He a lot like Lawver, but not quite the same speed as Lawver. Again, Brown up the middle there. This time Brown will be stopped for short yardage. He's going to be stopped very close to the 1st down marker. We'll see where they spot the ball. They put it down there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and less than 1 for the Red Tornadoes here. 3rd and less than 1 yard for the Red Tornadoes here at the 8:14 mark of the first quarter of play at Seal Stadium.
Seals coming in running a 5-5 defense, or I'm sorry, a 5-2 defense. And everything so far that the Tornadoes ran were either off guard, going to the right on Birster and Cuffey's side, or going to the left.
Puts Matsura in motion, but he keeps it, and he'll pick up the first down. Shinsky on a quarterback sneak, picking up the first down. So it's Red Tornadoes, 1st and 10. Ball will be finally placed down at about the 27-yard line of the Seals.
The best thing there for Dave was he kept his feet going. The surge was stopped just about dead center over Swank, and he popped it off to the right-hand side over Cuffey. Kept his feet going, and that's what picked him up the first down.
So this time we got Lashinsky and Pilarski in back of Shinsky, but he's going to look to pass, and again he finds Medalis. Medalis makes a nice move, and he takes the ball down to the 15-yard line for a 7-yard gain.
Fumble. Seals.
A fumble on the play, and the Seals have recovered and stop a Tornado drive at the 15-yard line. We'll look at the replay here. You'll see it's a pass, and you'll see where Medalis makes that turn that he normally does, and we'll see. I don't know. I can't see where the ball. There it is. There it pops out. Yeah. And it looked like it hit the ground.
Yeah.
As he hit the ground, but they're going to rule it a fumble on the play, and the Red Tornadoes are turned back. Seals take over, 1st and 10 on the 15. This time we go right to Lawver. This time right up the middle. He takes it up to about the 19-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Seals.
If you take a look at the line adjustment for the defense here, we're sort of, I would assume that maybe the film sort of showed Lawver running more off tackle than he does up the middle, because our shift that time left the middle wide open. There was nobody over the center. We sort of protected above on the guards.
This time it goes to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg gets away from one tackle from Matsura, but not from everybody else, as Yasenchak down there. And let's see who else comes off that pile down there. It's Buggy. Stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6 now for the Seals. And you can see that Medalis kind of slowed him up there, but then the rest of them brought him down at the line of scrimmage.
Strange occurrence there at that time. We have Brown, Dave, getting down in a nose guard position, but then he jumped up into the monster linebacker position and split Matsura and Yasenchak out to the sides a little bit.
This time Pagana has a split backfield, and he throws number 43 in motion. And that's Fozzie, but he's going to go back to pass, and he pitches it, and he's got Lawver on the outside, and a perfect pitch. Only number 41, the only guy going to be able to catch him, and he won't, as Lawver will go in for the score in a big, big play for the Seals, as Lawver on an option. The option play to Lawver, and he was outside, and once he took the step outside of everybody else, it was over. You saw the speed. Here you see the pitch.
We had the quarterback stopped. There were 3 guys there, but he got to the outside, sort of missed a little bit there on Lawver on the protection. Lawver just takes it off and goes down the line.
Leonovich had the only slight angle there was, and that wasn't enough, as he couldn't catch up with Lawver. And the Seals are on the board just like that at the 5:53 mark. Who's the kicker in there for the Seals, Wayne?
45.
45 puts it up, and it is good. So the extra point attempt by Ryan Rumberger is good, and the Seals now lead the game 7-0 here in the first period on a gigantic run by Lawver.
And the pitiful part about that is that, we had good movement going all the way down, and you take a look at that fumble, and regardless, unfortunately, the call from where we looked at it and look at the replay here, the ground caused the fumble on that play. Although Seals got the ball, 2 plays later, Lawver's running down the field and scores.
Now the Seals are known for big opening quarters. That's something they do a lot of. They got out to a quick lead they got out to quick leads against both Milton and Southern, and still ended up getting pretty well beaten by both of those teams. But that's their trademark, is the quick lead, and their trademark is always going to be here, number 44, at least for the rest of the year here, as the big guy. And he has been everything for the Seals over these past few years. He's a senior, he's 6'3", and he's 206 pounds, and he's lightning fast.
Yeah, you can see that there was no one coming close to Lawver that time. Although once he made the turn, there was nobody within 10 yards of him.
So the Seals will line up to kick off to the Tornadoes. Rumberger, and he's going to kick down there deep. He's got Pilarski down there. He's got number 2, the big guy Letkavich down at a freshman. And he's got Wargo, and it's going to go to Wargo at the 10. And Wargo comes upfield, crosses over the 20, still on his feet, and he'll take it down to the 29-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, where they'll take over 1st and 10 here, trailing for the first time in the game.
Well, a good offensive series, that first series. We moved the ball. We showed we could move it. We showed that we can get an open spot. And you know, Dave's made some great passes in that first series.
I don't think we expected to see the option play. That's not something we talked about at Supper Club last night. That was a little bit of a wrinkle, I think, that caught us by surprise. As we now shift over, leave one guy in back of him, and that's Pilarski. And we pitch it to Pilarski, and we're going to ask him to get outside. And he's going to cross the 30 up to the 32-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. It should bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Red Tornadoes.
Again, some good lateral movement there by the Seals, blocking up the hole. Take a look here, and Laver even comes over. But once we tried to cut back up into the center of the field again, there were 5 guys standing there to make the tackle.
Now, the Seals are a little tougher to get outside than, say, Wyalusing was last week. We were able to turn a corner on Wyalusing pretty much with ease. We won't do that with the Seals. This time we're going to go right up the middle. And it's going to be advanced to about the 34-yard line. It should be a gain of a yard or so on the play. Seal gets off the pile down there, and it is Pilarski. So it should bring up 3rd down when I look at it and I'll glance across here, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 5 for the Tornadoes.
One thing you notice here, you know, last year Seals a little bit bigger team than what they are now, but much quicker this year than what they were last year.
Shinsky goes back to pass. He's got a lot of room, and he's got Wargo outside there. Wargo's got it. And Wargo takes it down to the Seal 35-yard line, 1st and 10 on another big pass play, but a flag is down in the Tornado backfield, and it's going to be personal foul, roughing the passer against the Seals. So a big penalty on top of a big pass play. We don't see the roughing penalty as the camera moved down to Wargo, so we won't see that. But Wargo bobbles it a little bit, and he ends up all the way down at about the 35-yard line. So we'll see they mark off the penalty here next. And this will be a big gain for the Red Tornadoes, Wayne.
Ooh. I'll tell you, Dave stepping back, and that was only a 3-step pass pattern. He looked at Wargo. That is just a timing play. And you take a look. Dave steps back, throws the ball, and Wargo runs underneath it. But pin perfect, right on line, and all Wargo had to do is reach out.
15 yards on the penalty. The ball now down at the Selinsgrove Seal 20-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
One thing is that our line is giving Dave as much time as possible, but the receivers are definitely finding the open spots.
This time we go right up the middle, off the right side.
Mike Lashinsky carrying the ball.
The fullback, Lashinsky, picks up 3 yards on the play. Will bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Red Tornadoes.
Again, maybe the films sort of showed that their quickness and that they can contain to the outside. Everything that we've tried, the majority of the runs have all been up the center between the guards.
Yep. Now we get into that backfield where we come to the right side, and Pilarski will try to turn it here, and he won't. As Pilarski will lose yardage back to the original line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line, and the Seals are tough on the corners.
Yeah, they are. They
number 11 down there, Wayne. And that's Pagana, the quarterback. He really sealed that end off. You just see Pilarski coming around the corner here. You'll see there's number 11. He makes the turn in there, and that's what does it.
Yeah, he turned him right in. There were 4 other guys coming over, but I'll tell you what, I am impressed with how quick they are defensively to get to the outsides, move to one side or the other to make the stop.
So it brings up a 3rd down now in about 11 for the Tornadoes in pass position is Shinsky, and he heads it down there, and he's got Wargo in the corner, but just Wargo couldn't catch up with it. He also had Medalis fairly open, standing down there around the 10-yard line or so. So it'll bring up 4th down now for the Red Tornadoes. They'll be going for it here, deep in sealed territory at the 20-yard line or so.
Well, I'll tell you what, you take a look at that lineup there, giving us a man-to-man over there on Medalis Matsura over on the left-hand side, and both of those guys, in fact, Matsura was open from about 10 yards downfield. So I think we can see that that we can control and find the seams and everything else on the pass patterns. Here we are setting up again, and look at it, one man on man.
Shotgun formation for Shinsky. This time they bring a big guy in as blitz, and Shinsky's on the run. He sends it down there, and Shinsky is hit as he was letting the ball go. That's number 41 for the Seals, Nathan Moore. And the Tornadoes are turned back after a big play all the way down to the 20 with a penalty.
And the pressure came in from number 77 on the left-hand side. Nobody even touched him coming through.
Randy Treese.
Yep, Randy Treese, and he put so much pressure on Dave. Dave could not set up. Again, Matsura was open in the left-hand side of the end zone there. If he just would have had a little bit of time to see him.
Treese, only a sophomore playing tonight, 5'11", 228, but he made his presence known in the backfield there. Pagana keeps it. Now he pitches it again, and he pitches it out to Hackenberg this time, and Hackenberg is still moving. Letkavich will finally bring him down, but not before Letkavich takes the ball up to the Seal 33-yard line for a big gain. It'll be 1st and 10, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, 1st and 10 for the Seals.
Now Hackenberg, I read those numbers off earlier. Hackenberg and Lawver are running about neck and neck here. Both of them at about 1,100 yards. So these are two guys that you're definitely going to have to watch and contain. You just can't watch one. Ball's
on the ground down there, and we'll see who picks it up. It looks like the Seals will recover. We can't tell here as it bounced down from the center snap. And I think it's going to be Seal ball, I believe.
Yeah.
Yasenchak was close to it, but I believe either the center or the quarterback picked it back up. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 now for the Seals.
Yeah, the ball dropped right on the ground, and number 11, Pagana, tried to get down on it, but I think it was the lineman because Vincey was right on top of it also.
Either a guard or the center saw the fumble and picked it up there, or fell on it, So Seals retain possession. Pagana brings him up now. He's in the I formation there, and he gets Lawver in motion. And there's a flag. And we're going to wait and see if somebody moved here or not. It was turning into as Lawver came in motion, he was coming down, and where he was going to end up setting up, and I'm not sure, but it'll go against the Seals. It'll be 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 15 now.
Again, the Seals are they're running a wide slot to the left-hand side, and they're trying to flood the zone by putting Lawver in motion and coming over here into the flat.
So far, the Seals have had their most success on an option play. Something the Red Tornadoes I don't think we're actually looking for a lot of, but that's where their success has come this evening on offense at least. And we've got about 1:33 remaining here in the first quarter of play, and it goes to the big guy Lawver, and Lawver's loose in the backfield, and he's still loose, and he's finally brought down by Letkavich, but not before he crosses over the 50-yard line in the Red Tornado territory at the Red Tornado 49-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 Selinsgrove.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a kid there that he just turned the corner, and you could see his head moving up and down the field looking for his blockers. He started going over to the right, saw the opening in the center of the field, came back over this way and hit the left hash mark.
So a big gainer by Lawver again. He's been the name of the game so far, as we told you at the pregame. He's the guy to watch, and he's the guy to look at. He's lined up and now in motion. He moves to the right, and Pagana looks for him. Pagana's going to go down. He had cuff all over him down there, but he was initially held up a little bit by Buggy.
Yeah.
Was the guy that pinched him a little bit, and he turned right into cuff.
He was looking over to the right-hand side for Lawver over in the flat, and Buggy came in, put enough of pressure on. When Buggy jumped up in the air, Pagana pulled the ball back down and tried to run it himself.
Lost a yard on the play for the Seals. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11 now. Ball just on the other side of the midfield mark in Seal territory. Fozzie goes in motion, and we're going to hand it to the big guy, number 44, and he just bulls his way up. And he crosses midfield, crosses the Red Tornado 45 down to the Red Tornado 42-yard line.
Ooh, he's a strong runner. I'll tell you what, he got behind number 69 that time, and he pushed him right down the field at least 7 yards.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, will bring an end to the first period of play here at Seal Stadium, with the Selinsgrove area Seals leading the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes 7-0. and remind you that you are watching WKMC TV, broadcasting directly from the campus at Mount Carmel Area High School. We are an instructional fixed television service, and you catch us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m., Channel 13, courtesy of the Service Electric cable system. And remember, WKMC TV is live in the mornings at 7:30, every morning of a school day at 7:30 a.m. on Channel 13. And again, Service Electric TV providing that access to us. So if you want to tune in and learn all about what's happening at Mount Carmel Area High School and in both sports and academics and everything else there is to do with the school district, there's the time to do it. You meet some great young kids who do a good job on a news broadcast and really keep everybody really interested in it. So if you get a chance and you're up that early, do it. So nothing we haven't thought about seeing except for the option a little bit. That threw us off and caused the first touchdown, it looks like. But Lawver starting to gain stride a little bit. The Red Tornadoes need to contain him. If they don't, they're not going to win this football game.
Yeah, you can see the strength that he runs with. I'll tell you what, some small college looks at this kid, they're going to get a prize, I think. I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
He's a blue chipper.
And the I formation back at Pagana. And again puts Lawver in motion. And he hands it to Hackenberg, and there's a penalty on the play. The play stops.
It's a motion on the left-hand side of the Seals line. I think the tackle picked up a little bit.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty, looks like, and it is, coming against the Seals. So it'll then make that play a third down and third and about 7, a long 7 actually. So 3rd and 7 now for the Seals, as they're in Red Tornado territory, but now back at the Red Tornado 47-yard line.
Well, 3rd and 7, the way the play looked, the last 2 times they ran it, I would say you're sort of looking at maybe no, they're not running the option. They put Lawver up as a slot man to the right.
Pagana looks to pass immediately. He's under heavy pressure, and Cuff is going to bring him down hard. Right along the line of scrimmage, loss of about a yard or so, if that. But the Seals now will bring up a 4th down, and the Seals will be forced to punt here as Cuff all the way from the other side, Wayne.
Yeah, Cuff did an excellent job, and so did Buggy on this left-hand side. Buggy turning Pagana in, and Pagana was trying to get to the outside and turned him in, and Cuff just, did some mean stuff to him that time.
So the Seals are forced to punt here. Bit of a high snap, but he gets it off. That's Lentis with the punt, and it's a fair catch down there by Wargo. And he fair catches it down at the Mount Carmel area 14-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
The Tornadoes in that first series, again, moved the ball very well. It looks like the receivers can get open. Our outside game, trying to get around the corners, boy, I'll tell you, the Seals are covering that very well.
Yep, they definitely have sealed the corners off right now, the Red Tornado offense. Pilarski not able to do anything. Now we come out with a wide formation, wide to Shinsky's left, but he will ask for and be granted a timeout as he looked around. I don't know if he saw what he liked, but a timeout on the play for the Red Tornadoes, their first here of the first half. Timeout over, Shinsky will bring him up, and he'll set it up here. And he's going to hand it to Pilarski, who came in motion. Pilarski cutting it back, and again, still moving there, and hitting Pilarski on a tough run up to the 25-yard line.
Tell you what, the key there was Mike Lashinsky throwing the block right off the line of scrimmage. Take a look here, number 45 coming over. Yeah, you sort of miss it here, but Mike makes a real good block there and springs Jared free. Jared picks up the first down.
Tough run by Pilarski. 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. Ball sitting squarely on the 25-yard line. He's got Medalis and Wargo split, and he hands it right up the middle. Ball goes up to, I'm going to say the 20. Ball's at about the 29-yard line there for the Red Tornadoes.
It seems a little strange because the shift that we put on there and spread out to the right-hand side, the Seals are definitely taking the short side of the field and packing it over there. they're leaving the wide side, which is this side coming towards us, coming towards the camera, more open.
This time we got Pilarski, I believe, and Pilarski trying to turn the corner. He's going to pick up just about a yard on the play when he's all said and done after a lot of running there.
Yeah.
But picks up a yard on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down now and 3 for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, you might see the big man, our boy Dave Brown, coming in at this point. Had some success picking up some good yardage when he did come in to run the ball off in that first series of downs in the opening kickoff.
He's got the full house backfield sitting back there now. And the Seals are going to stop us right close but short, I believe, when they finally put the ball down. We're going to fall short of that 1st down.
Yeah, we had to get to the other side of the, what is that, the 35-yard line.
Was Pilarski on the carry?
Yes, it was. It was Pilarski on the carry with Matsura and Dave Brown leading the blocking there.
So it's going to bring up a 4th down for the Red Tornadoes. 4th and not quite 1. Not quite 1 for the Red Tornadoes, and I'm not sure what we're doing here. We believe we may be going for it, and we are.
Might be going for it.
As Shinsky comes in, and he is going to go for it as the Red Tornadoes take a gamble here early in the second quarter.
Take a look at the defensive line there.
And this time Shinsky, and I believe he got it.
Yeah.
The quarterback sneak, nothing fancy. Looks like he picked it up, but Coach Brennan gambling early here, as he was still pretty well deep in his own territory to do a quarterback sneak. And it is a 1st down for the Red Tornadoes, so
and I'll tell you,
it paid off.
The Seals brought everybody up onto that line of scrimmage. You talk about a goal line stance, that was it.
So fresh set of downs now for the Tornadoes as they get lined up here. And he's gonna pass, and he's got Matsura. Nice catch by Matsura. Just over the midfield stripe down at the Seal 47-yard line where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. And take a look at the catch by Matsura here.
Nice touch on the ball there by Dave Shinsky, just to lay it up there enough for Stevie to reach out and to catch the ball out on the flat.
Just on his fingertips there.
I'll tell you, Dave is putting it right where it has to be. Gave him all the time in the world, that line did, to throw that ball.
So the passing game is really the offense for the Red Tornadoes so far here tonight, as they have clicked on the passing game. Matsura now, and Matsura takes it over the 45-yard line down to the 43-yard line of the Seals.
A pickup of about a good 4 yards that time. And I think about the only other one that picked up close to 4 yards was Dave on a straight dive play. Some good blocking on the right-hand side with Cuff and Bierster over there.
7:22 now remaining in the second quarter play. The Red Tornadoes still down 7-0 to the Seals as Shinsky brings them up. And this time it's going to go to Pilarski, and the ball is loose.
Loose again. He might, see what he called. 3rd down. 3rd down, Tornadoes ball.
So Pilarski takes it down to the 40-yard line. It's going to be short of the 1st down by 3 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now and 3.
I'll tell you what, take a look at the defensive line for the Seals, how far off the offensive line, the line of scrimmage they are playing. They are waiting for the ball to be snapped, and then they're pursuing. They're waiting for the blocking to come out towards them and pursuing. That's the reason why, one of the reasons why we cannot. Take a look how far off the line of scrimmage they are.
This time right to the big tight end, Yasenchak, and he has the ball down inside the 30, and he carries 4 Seals down to the Seal 26-yard line where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. And there you see the big tight end. He catches it right in the middle there.
And had to go up for it too. It wasn't right there. Dave had to jump up in the air to get the ball over the line, and at that time also release it a little bit higher. Vincey gets up, and I'll tell you what, it looked like a bunch of ants trying to.
Well, he carried number 81 Barry there for a full 5 yards before he finally got him down. Barry went for the ride that time, but Shinsky will bring him up here now. This goes to Pilarski on the inside. Pilarski cuts up, and he'll cross down inside the 25-yard line to the 20-yard line, actually, where his forward progress took him. I wasn't sure where he was standing there. Out on the 20-yard line.
Take a look at the misdirection. Sort of gets the Seals a little confused here. Now all of a sudden we come back in the opposite direction. We just needed that the pulling guard there. The pulling guard, who was Bierster, the pulling tackle coming over on that side, had to stop to pick up someone coming through the line. If he would have led a little bit further over, I think he would have sprang Pilarski for a little bit more yardage.
Number 16, Ammerman, the linebacker, made that
Look
play.
at
And
this.
Brown
Look
is
at Brown.
free into the Seal backfield, and he crosses over the 10-yard line down to the 9-yard line where it's 1st and goal, Red Tornadoes.
Take a look at the blocking here on this side between John Skinner and Marshall Merarkey. But the ball looked like Dave jumps up in the air and he throws the linebackers a little bit. And I'll tell you what, Dave was just romping free. Nobody touched him until he got down 10 yards on the field.
Red Tornadoes now 1st and goal. Their deepest penetration of the evening here against the Seals. He comes out in an I formation. Right to Brown, and Brown pounding down. And he'll take it down to the 1-yard line where it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1, and that's just pure brute force.
Seals setting up a defense. They're running a large gap. They're keeping headman right on Swank, but take a look here.
Look at the
blocking is excellent. They took on who they had to, and Dave Brown gets all the way down in the 1 just on his strength alone.
Barry, number 81, is going to have a nightmare of 51 pretty soon, as he's the last guy there to hold him all the time, and Brown just continually runs into him and carries them with him. Brown again, and Brown streaks it into the end zone on a 1-yard run by Dave Brown, the big fullback, and the Red Tornadoes are on the scoreboard here at the 4:24 mark of the second quarter. Seals 7, Red Tornadoes 6, and Whitecamp, number 9, will be in for the extra point attempt.
Yeah, take a look here. Dave Brown, some good blocking.
Now look at the
there.
blocking there. That was
blocking, pushed everybody back, and Dave just hit the line and jumped off to the left, and
textbook blocking,
right over,
sealing that entire corner from the tackle over, and that was it. As Whitecamp now will put it up, and he does, and it is good, and the score now is tied. Selinsgrove Seals 7, the Red Tornadoes 7, and the Red Tornadoes now preparing to kick off.
Now, one thing that's going to do, I'll tell you what, you take a look at the passing by Dave Shinsky, pinpoint so far tonight, and again, hitting everybody, just exactly what he's doing since the North Schuylkill game coming through. Laying it out there, and that's going to loosen up the defense. It's going to loosen up the linebackers, exactly what it did. We hit Matsura over here on the left-hand side, and then all of a sudden we come back to the tight end over the middle, and now all of a sudden your linebackers are sort of back on their heels a little bit. And what do? You come back with the bruiser, you come back with Dave, and once you're back on your heels and your sort of motion is going back, with Dave 220-something pounds coming directly at you, there's no way you're going to stop him.
Now, the Seals so far tonight have shown that they are extremely vulnerable to the pass.
Yes.
That's where the Red Tornadoes have made their most money, although on this particular drive it was the run for the most part, except for, I guess, Yasenchuk with the big catch in the middle.
That is correct.
But the Seals are not defending the pass as well as they need to, I think, here in this game. As Whitecamp gets set to kick off, and he does, and he puts it down there right to number 25. That's Eddie Jones at the 15-yard line, and Jones turns it upfield. And Jones takes it over the 30-yard line to the 31, where he's brought down by Matsura.
Yeah, Matsura is a guy. It's just amazing that Steve is around the ball all the time on special teams ever since he was a freshman. And you take a look here, and he does have someone, number 40. Somebody was trying to tackle him there, and he comes in and he does make the stop.
So the Seals bring it up. It's 1st and 10 now for the Seals as the score is now tied. As Pagana got a split backfield in back of him. And he's going to hand it out there to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg's going to gain a yard.
It's going to Laver, number 44. Just on a straight dive play.
Oh, yes, it is. All right.
Coming up. But I'll tell you what, the defense that time just made a good stand on the left-hand side, and there was just no motion for Laver to get through.
Almost no gain on the play.
He is deadly. Once he gets past the line of scrimmage, boy, I'll tell you, he's already, with his shifty feet and everything else, he's moving.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Seals. I formation now, and again we go to Hackenberg this time, and Hackenberg will be brought down a gain of 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 8 for the Seals.
That time I think Greco was the one Ricky gets in there and he makes the initial hit.
Yeah, there he is. He's hanging on to him, and, then Brown
comes
finishes
over.
him off. But you're right, Greco coming in from this. Is he playing the defensive tackle spot out there?
Yep, that's where he's at. He's in that. He was in the defensive tackle spot. And he's still there.
There he is.
There
he is. So he makes his presence felt early here as he just gets in the game and starts playing. It's third down now as the Seals and Pagano will line him up. He puts a man in motion. That's Falsey, and he will option it. And he missed Lauver that time, and they have fumbled the ball.
Yep.
I believe the Red Tornadoes have recovered it. We'll see. It got away from Lauver as he fell on it. And it is Red Tornado football down at the Seal 20-yard line. And that looks like Matsura.
Matsura gets up with the ball. The pressure here comes, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Take a look. We go right at the quarterback, and it's coming from that left-hand side. And that might have been Matsura over here.
No, here's Matsura coming straight on.
That was Buggy.
Yeah,
Buggy had released from his defensive end position. He blitzed the quarterback, and the quarterback, so much pressure, he pitched the ball too early.
So the Red Tornadoes take over 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of the Seals, and we go to Pilarski. And Pilarski diving in there. He crosses over the 20-yard line down to the 18-yard line, or 19. Pick up of 2 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8.
Tell you what, Jared's making some tough yardage tonight. I'll tell you, no matter how many times he touched the ball already, there's someone keying on him all the time, and he's picking up 2, 3, 4 yards, and they're the toughest yards I think so far this year that he's been picking up.
Well, he's a tough guy.
Yes,
though. I'll tell you what, he can handle that. He is one tough hombre. Lashinsky as the fullback, Pilarski as the tailback, straight I formation, and this time Shinsky looks to pass, and he does. He's got Medalis. Dallas is over the 15-yard line down to the 14-yard line. It's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down when they finally place it down. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Red Tornadoes.
I'll tell you what has happened already with the defensive backs for Selinsgrove is that as soon as Matsura and Medalis are out there in their slot positions, they're releasing and they're already backpedaling. And all we're doing now is we're just running a hook pattern, 10 yards down, 7 yards down, coming back to the ball, and Dave's just laying it there for them.
So Brown now in the backfield at that fullback spot, but it's going to go to Pilarski. They're asking him to follow Brown, and he will not. He is stopped pretty much at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down and 2 now for the Red Tornadoes, if they gain nothing on that play. So the Seals penetrate that time.
Yeah, they came right over there. They sort of left Dave Brown go through, and they just swarmed around the back of Dave, left, and Pilarski was there just dead meat.
So now a 4th down play, and it's 4th, and now it's probably closer to 3 yards when they set the ball down. It'll be 4th down and 3. There's a timeout on the field now. Stoppage of play here in the second quarter, at the 1:23 mark of the second quarter here, with the Red Tornadoes threatening. The score tied 7-7. Great night at the Supper Club last night, Wayne. Packed house. Packed house. We had a great crowd. It really was fabulous. And had about 8 guys there from the team. 2 cheerleaders. We had Twisty there.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did. We had Twisty there last night. It was great. She was fabulous. She really was. She's a very engaging young woman. And she spoke to us a little bit, and some of the guys did. So we had a great night. Coach talked about this game and reflected a little bit at Wyalusing. So it was certainly our pleasure to have all of them again last night, as it is every week. Full house backfield for the Red Tornadoes now.
Ooh, man.
And it's going to be Matsura, and Matsura is going to pick the first down up as he takes it down just about to the 10-yard line.
I'll tell you what, nice cut. It looked like they had a little bit of motion that the Seals were in the zone there. Nobody throws a flag. But I'll tell you what, here, Matsura does
the cut right there.
Matsura makes the right move, and he cuts back upfield behind his blockers.
And there's number 81, Barry, once again in the tackle. He's all over the place for the Seals back there in the defensive backfield. He's the safety back there. And he's getting a workout here in the second quarter of play as the Red Tornadoes are now looking at, is it a 1st and 10?
It's 1st and 10,
1st and 10, yeah. It's not 1st and goal. And that was a short pitch to, I believe, Matsura, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Pilarski was actually the trailer.
And we run that play to make it look like it's going to Pilarski, hoping that Matsura can cut back behind the flow of the defense.
pick up a 3 on the play, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. The Red Tornadoes they need to get right down near the goal line for a first down.
Right down there, and we're down to 30 seconds left in this half.
So the Red Tornadoes need to pick the pace up here a little bit as the clock is ticking, and Shinsky sends Matsura in motion, and he'll go back to pass as he's flooded that side, and he's got him. But he'll be taken out of bounds down along. There's a flag in the defensive backfield of the Seals. Also, we'll wait and see what that call is. Matsura went down out of bounds at the 5-yard line or so. So it's going to bring up. I don't know what it's going to bring. Wait and see what they call.
I don't know what they're going to call. It has to be
holding.
Defensive holding.
Defensive holding. So they'll bring up a first down, but it doesn't matter. There's 18 seconds left here in the second quarter of play. But what we'll also do is put the ball down.
On the 2.5-yard line?
It should be the 2.5.
It'll go down to about the 4-yard line, I would assume.
From the line of scrimmage.
From the line of scrimmage.
From the line of scrimmage, okay.
About the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and that's where the marker's sitting at the 8, so they're discussing it now. I'm not sure why. As Shinsky also walks in with the play, and we'll see the mark off now. And there's an awful lot of discussion about where this will end up at. And now he looks like he's prepared to do it, and he is, and the ball does go down to the 4-yard line, Wayne, you're correct. Where it is 1st and goal.
They're still saying it's 2nd down.
2nd down. I'm sorry, 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4 for the Red Tornadoes with 15 seconds now. Clock going. And we're back to pass again, and he's got Medalis open down there, and just threw Medalis' fingers as he got high, but he was open. Now 8 seconds, and now the decision is, do they go for the field goal or they go for the touchdown? That's what the Red Tornadoes sideline's trying to decide over there now.
We should have. I don't even know if do we have a timeout left?
Yes.
Yeah, we have 2 timeouts left.
The Red Tornadoes look like they're going to go for the touchdown. They're going to eschew the field goal. How'd you like the eschew word?
Wow.
Yeah. I was waiting to use that one all year.
I was going to say, God bless you. I thought you sneezed.
So here it comes, folks. This may be the last play, depending on how economical the Red Tornadoes are on the clock. But Shinsky gets lined up there, and he goes into the end zone there, and he's looking, and he's got him. Touchdown. Wargo, right? Yes, Wargo. It is. Wargo in the corner on the fade pattern, and that was as pretty as it gets in high school, folks. Fade pattern to Wargo.
Take a look. All Dave does is pick up, look, it throws the ball right into the corner, and Wargo's got one-on-one right there in the corner, and Wargo outreaches.
Excellent play by the Red Tornadoes, and they now surge ahead right near the end of this first half. 13-7, and Whitecamp, the big guy, number 9's in for the extra point attempt. And he puts it up on a low line drive, but he got it over there, and it's good. So at the 3-second mark of the second quarter, the Red Tornadoes now lead the Seals 14-7 on what was a very good set of plays from that fumble recovery.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what. What can we say about the blocking that's going on in that line for the Tornadoes? Giving Dave as much time and keeping everybody's hands down that Dave can just look up over and throw the ball. But, you know, it's oh, gosh, I'm lost for words, Warren.
That's unusual. But, you know, I can understand that. You know, you used all the words up. It's the 10th game.
Oh,
see, you used a lot of them up in the first 3 and 4 games where I was careful, knowing that I would need them later on. So I got them still. And I could let you rent some of them.
Can I rent a stew? Or
you can't rent a stew. You can't afford a stew bowl. You can't even afford that. So forget that. All right, Whitecamp's here to line it up. We got one more dangerous play in the half here, and that, of course, is kicking down there when you got a guy like Laver awaiting it, and he lets it rip, and this time he wisely keeps it on the ground.
Right.
It bounces up to number 43 down there, Fozzie, and he'll go down hard.
And exactly what the Tornadoes wanted to do.
That's what you want.
Yep, keep it short. You know, as soon as the ball is touched by the receiving team, the clock starts, and there was only three seconds on the clock.
So that's the end of the first half of play here at Seals Stadium with the Red Tornadoes in the lead, 14-7 over the Seals, and Wayne will be back shortly with all the first half stats. Okay, folks, welcome back here to the second half of this very exciting football game between the Seals and the Red Tornadoes. Wayne, what are the stat tell us about what we saw here in the first half?
I'll tell you what, a very good game, an exciting game. Jose said the hitting that's going on down on the field. One thing that we sort of lose, at home we have the window open in front of us, and here we're in a closed-in press box. But he said down there, boy, it is crisp. It's hard hitting down there in the trenches. On the Mount Carmel side, we have 29 carries for 79 yards. Pilarski 11 for 33. Brown 5 for 29. Matsura 4 for 14. Lashinsky 1 for 1. And Shinsky 2 for 2. In the passing department, I'll tell you, Dave again is having another stellar performance here. 8 of 11 for 107 yards. Medalis 3 for 37. Wargo 2 for 36. Matsura 2 for 14. And Vinci Senchak 1 for 20. 10 first downs for the Tornadoes. On the Selinsgrove Seal side, in the rushing department, 14 carries for 113 yards. Passing 0, 1 attempt, 0 receptions, and 3 first downs. And one thing that is showing, even though the score is 14-7 at this point, is that the Tornadoes defense has certainly flexed its muscles here in the first half of this game. They have to continue to do that. You have to remember they have 14 carries on 113 yards. Warren, 79 of those yards came from Lawver's option play, just the one run. So, the Tornadoes, especially offensively and again defensively, we saw this last week against Wyalusing, how much they've gelled together, in the last 2-3 weeks. Last week, certainly stepping up and showing everybody what it's all about, and especially tonight. And, Dave Shinsky is having a great game again tonight in the passing department. Although you take a look as we're standing up here, Matsura, Medalis, Wargo running their pass patterns, and just about every time we're out on a pass pattern, we're in the open. So the boys are running some excellent pass patterns. We're getting the protection for Dave from the offensive line. So everything at this point is clicking in the first half. And of course, we have another half to go. And these guys have to realize that, and I'm sure they do at this point, that they have to play another half.
Oh yeah, I think as you said, the telling stat here, I think so far in this first half is over 100 yards passing by the Red Tornadoes. And Shinsky, the Seals, if they look vulnerable, they do in the past. Certainly they seem to be a step, I think, slower, and they are being fooled a little bit by some of the patterns. Now, we also saw the tight end only once, but looks like he would be also open as we go into the second half. They didn't cover him well at all.
No.
Now, I'm not sure what the adjustments will be, but certainly they need to adjust in the passing games. I think Mount Carmel area may be able to start running away with them if they can keep Lawver. And you're looking at 34 yards if you take away that big run in total offense, running offense. So.
One thing that we had talked about was there were two things. Actually 3 things. One was the first series of downs when Jose and I were sitting over there, that Lawver is their go-to man. And even Hackenberg has 1,100 yards on the ground. Mm-hmm. And yet when you take a look at their first series, it was a pass. They went to Hackenberg. They faked Lawver, and then they came back with another pass again, and they punted. And it sort of surprised us a little bit that they didn't come out and flex their muscles with Lawver and run the ball right down our throat. The other thing is, as we had talked, that they passed very well last week against Montoursville. Both Lawver and Hackenberg had a very, very good game in the rushing department. I think both of them ran for over 140 yards each, and Lawver had 90-some yards on the ground with the in the air with the touchdown, and yet they've only tried and attempted one pass here. So some things that seem a little strange for what we read in the papers and what's going on. In fact, Lawver hasn't even touched the ball that much tonight, only for 1 or 2 times, and that's their go-to man.
Right. So the Seals will start this second half by kicking off to the Red Tornadoes. Rumberger, 45. Make sure that it's set there, and he takes his standard walk back there, so he'll kick it off. And, of course, he's kicking off down there to Wargo, Pilarski, and Ledkavich. And we'll get this thing cranking in 1 second, and it is up. And he hands it down there to Pilarski. He'll take it down at the 10-yard line. And Pilarski makes a cut and still moving, still going on his feet. And Pilarski takes it up very close to the 30-yard line.
I think they're going to put it over at the 32. 31
yard line. So he crosses over to 30. A fine return by Pilarski there of 21 yards. And here you see him on the replay. You see him coming right at you now. And you'll see the cut he makes right there. That's a good cut there.
And then back again in the same direction.
Oshinsky brings them up. The Red Tornadoes leading in this football game 14-7 just as we begin here the second half of play. Flag's going to be thrown against the Red Tornadoes as Matsura, I believe, is the ball carrier for the Red Tornadoes.
Illegal set.
So it's going to push the Red Tornadoes 5 yards back. It'll bring up 1st and 15. As Pilarski trots back in and Brown and Buggy trot out.
Well, I'll tell you what, you take a look there. You have Brown in as a fullback, and you have now Vincey coming in motion a little bit, and you're bringing him. Now you got 230 pounds for Vincey and probably 230 for Brown. Boy, two blocking men going through the hole at the same time.
Oshinsky brings him up now, and we'll start this thing over again. This time we go to Pilarski. Pilarski will pick up about 5 yards in the play. He's very close to the 30-yard line where they'll finally place the ball down. Let's see where they do place it. All right, a gain of about 4 on the play to get to the 29. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 11 for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, everything we are doing here is mostly within the tackles. We haven't tried to hit to the outside. Here we're coming out and trips left.
Now he goes back to pass, plenty of time again, and he goes over the middle there. It's tipped and it's intercepted on the tip. Number 1 down there, it's 41 with the ball. That's Nathan Moore, and the Seals on a tip ball intercept and now have the ball 1st and 10 at the Red Tornado 15-yard line.
Right off the tackle spot, the ball is going into the flat, and I think it's 70. Somebody gets their hand up right
there. It is right there. We can't see who tipped it as the camera's moving quickly, but you're seeing somewhere you're going to see 41 with the ball, and there you do. As he trots down to the 15-yard line, and the Seals now threatening here on the interception. 1st and 10. This time it's going to go to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg's going to gain a yard on the play.
Coming again very, very low. Number 21, Matsura, and number 29, Buggy, from their defensive positions to make the initial hit in the backfield. There was a hole there for Hackenberg to get through on that side of the line. But I'll tell you what, great defensive play by those two.
So 2nd down and 9, and we pitch it to Hackenberg now. He's trying to follow, and he's going to pick up 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 now for the Seals at the Red Tornado 12-yard line.
You have to be careful, and they've brought everything back to the short side of the field. Now they're on the right hash mark. They got a lot of field to play with over on the left-hand side, and we've seen that option play run to that side quite a bit.
The Red Tornado defense stiffening here. On the 3rd down play as Pagana brings him up. He has a I formation, Lawver in that fullback spot. He puts Lawver in motion, and it's going to be a penalty on the Seals.
Oh, that one hurt.
And that's a 5-yard penalty, and that is a painful penalty. You're absolutely right. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 18 now for the Seals, and it is beginning to rain, ladies and gentlemen. It is just beginning to rain here at Seals Stadium. We either that or somebody threw a soda at my window, but I think it's rain. They were calling for rain late here in the evening, and we may start to see some of that now. So we got it set up here now. It is 3rd and 8. 3rd and 11. I'm sorry, 3rd and 11.
And they flooded the left-hand side, and they're going back to that trips and doing the same thing this time.
Pagana fakes it, and now he lets it rip, and he's got a guy down there, and touchdown. I can't see who that is right now. That's number 13, I believe. 43, Fozzie. That's Fozzie on, and that's a great play by Fozzie. We'll see if we have that on a replay. You're going to see the ball.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how he caught that ball because there were so many hands that swiped at that ball going across his vision, and he
Wargo tipped it, but he kept his eye on it, and Fozzie comes down in the end zone, and the Seals are back in this game now at 14-13, and they're expecting the extra point attempt here. Pagana is the holder, and it is up and good, and that's number 45 doing the kicking, Rumberger. So the Seals have tied the game here at the 9:22 mark of the third quarter of play. It is Seals 14, Red Tornadoes 14.
Just that quick, they come back, and Jose did say that he thinks in the second half they're going to come out and throw the ball a little bit more, try to loosen up the defense, because if you take a look at the stats in the first half, the defensive line did an excellent job in stopping the run. So they do have to come out. They have to do something. You know, and it's just funny that you have 4 guys swatting at that ball, tipped the ball, and he just kept his eye on it all the way and landed on his back and caught it.
That was a great play by Fozzie.
It
was a nice pass by Pagana, and a great play by Fozzie to keep his concentration down in the end zone. So Rumberger will tee it up there, and I'm definitely going out and saying it's raining now as I look at the at the window in front of me. So we expected rain here. We had hoped it would hold off, but it apparently looks like it's in the beginning stages of it here at Seal Field. So Rumberger's going to kick it off to that normal group down there. Pilarski in the middle. To his left is Ledkavich, and to his right is Wargo. Rumberger lets it rip, and it's going to go down along the sideline, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. Wargo wisely let it hit the ground there as it was angling to the sideline and goes out of bounds. The Red Tornadoes will take it over, 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
Pretty close. They went out of bounds about the 7-yard line. I'll tell you what, it didn't go out by much, Warren, but Wargo makes the right move there. The ball comes now back up to the 35-yard line. That's where the Tornadoes will start this drive from.
So Wargo comes in, replaces Jasenchak. I'm always wondering how they replace each other when we haven't even called a play yet. How they know which ones are coming in and out. So 1st and 10 now. It's a new ball game, all tied up at 14-14. They puts Wargo and Matsura out to his left, split, and he puts Pilarski in motion, and he gives it to Pilarski, and Pilarski's going to try to get outside, and he does for a little while there. And he crosses over the 35-yard line to the 38-yard line, a gain of 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Number 20 coming up from the corner position there to make that tackle. Very good play on his part. Pilarski is out in the open there, and if he gets by him, he picks up some extra yardage.
We'll see what the Red Tornadoes have in store here. Shinsky will bring him up. He's got the big guy, Dave Brown, and he'll be the single back in the backfield right now. As he sends Pilarski in motion again, and this time we go to Matsura the opposite way. Matsura's got some yardage going. Matsura over midfield into Seal territory at the Seal 48-yard line. 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. That's a pretty offensive play there. You see the replay.
Great. Take a look at number 79, Skinner, coming across there and just, opening up the hole. All he had to do is just go through it for Matsura, and Matsura runs right behind him and picks up some good yardage.
This time right up the middle is Brown, and Brown is going to take it down to the 45-yard line.
See, now
should bring up a 2nd and 7 where they place it.
This type of play, a straight dive play to Dave Brown, is great here, because if you take a look at the gap that Selinsgrove is putting, they're staying at least a yard off the line of scrimmage. They're waiting for the offensive line to make some motion to come out and attack. And at that point, they're making their move on a stunt, but they're putting so much distance in between that a good runner like Dave or like Jared should pick up at least 3-4 yards every time.
Brown again, and Brown pounds his way down for the 1st down as he's down at the Seal 36-yard line, and Brown is again a wrecking crew here tonight for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, we got Marshall Mararka on the left-hand side with John Skinner, number 79. And I'll tell you, Dave Brown is picking up experience week in and week out. We saw him last week against Wyalusing and how much better he had gotten as the game went on. And you can see here the first play that he carried the ball, he ran it straight. This time it was more of a slashing play, more between the guard and tackle and heading to the flats.
Again, Brown, and this time he's met at the line of scrimmage, and of course he doesn't go down.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't go down easy, does he?
They'll give his forward progress about a yard, I would think. It'll bring up a second down and about 9 for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Dave was not stopping that time.
Number 20, Ritter, was actually the guy that held him up there a little bit. So Yasenchak trots off the big tight end. And I'm not sure okay, now we go. Matsura and Pilarski now in the backfield for the Red Tornadoes. Matsura in that fullback position. And he goes in motion. Pilarski will step up one. And it's a pass. Flags are down, and so is Shinsky. As Shinsky goes down hard in there, and he is sacked by number 16, Bruce Ammerman, for the Seals. But we'll see what the flag is first. And that's probably against the Red Tornadoes. It is illegal. So we'll see what the Seals want to do. They're going to decline it because it was a pretty good loss there for the Red Tornadoes as the ball is back at the 40-yard line. So a 6-yard loss on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 15, 3rd down and 14 for the Red Tornadoes.
Trying to look here to see where number 16 came from, whether it was a corner position or what. And he's the right side linebacker, and when we set up in the trips like that, he comes over, he floods his side. Take a look. He's just going to release and follow the tackle.
Shinsky in a deep drop, and he's looking, and he's got
Matsura. Look at the screen
on a screen
here.
pass. Matsura's got some room to run, and he's still going.
Score.
And he's going to score. It's going to be a touchdown for the Red Tornadoes on a screen play to Matsura, perfectly set up by the Red Tornadoes, and they are now jumping ahead. It'll be Mount Carmel area 20. The Seals 14 at the 13 at the 6:13 mark.
And it was the aggressive play by the defensive line that set that whole thing up. They did attack very hard on the last two
Look at that group out in front of him. My goodness.
And he splits the difference right there, certainly.
What a play. Look at Wargle's going to get the last block here, and he does. He just slows them up there. That's number 20, Ritter. And it's good, so the score now at the 6:13 mark of the third quarter of play is Mount Carmel area 21, the Seals 14, and starting to get the feel of that last year game at the Silver Bowl where the scoreboard was almost burned out trying to put the score up all the time.
Well, between John Veach and Lawver last year,
Goodness.
It was just like whoever touched the ball last was, going to win the game. And, certainly, again, it's bled into this year. 21-14, he couldn't have asked for a better game than this.
Yep.
Hard-hitting game, some great play calling down there, great defense by both teams.
The Red Tornadoes playing as if their backs are against the wall, and they well are. So this is what we hope to see here tonight, and we did. They're responding. Whitecamp, number 9. The kicker will put it up there, and he'll kick down, and he's got in the middle, the most dangerous of the group is Lauber, of course. He's got Barry on that far side, and he's got Eddie Jones here in the near side. And he puts it on the ground again on a short one. It's going to be picked up, and he kneeled down.
Yep.
Number 43 picked it up, and that's Fozzie, but as he bent down to pick it up, he knelt. And that brought the ball dead at the 33-yard line of the Seals, where it'll be 1st and 10, Selinsgrove.
I'll tell you what, how many years we've seen that John Veach is down there, and certainly nobody kicked to him last year. And
no.
You don't want to kick to Lauver. I mean, he's just a deadly person when he catches the ball.
I was going to argue that strategy, absolutely. They kick to Lauver. High formation. He gives it to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg's got it up to the 30-yard line.
Good run, good blocking on the left side of the line there for the Seals. It was a misdirection play. We had Lauver coming to the right, and then quarterback just turns around and hands back to Hackenberg going in the opposite direction over the left side of their offensive line.
7-yard gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3 now for the Seals. Pagana's going to go back to pass for the second to see, and he's hit very quickly. He's got Lawver. Lawver was wide open. The pressure, though, all over Pagana.
That pressure came from that right side.
Greco,
it had to be Greco.
Greco, I believe, was one of them
side.
in there at least, as Pagana under heavy pressure. And he had Lawver open. Down along, in fact, he had two guys open, to tell you the truth. He had both of them open, but he couldn't get the ball anywhere near them. So it brings up now a 3rd down and 3 for the Seals.
The defensive end on that side, on the weak side, is that Buggy, I guess, is just releasing, and Greco was right next to him. Boy, what pressure they put on Pagana.
This time we give it to Lawver, and Lawver's going to bounce around and bounce around. He's going to lose a yard.
Still bouncing.
He is one tough runner.
Not stopping.
So he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring a 4th down up, and they're going to end up kicking here.
Actually lost it 2 yards. It takes them back. Good defensive play, but take a look at the tenacity of Lawver that time. He must have got hit at least 4 or 5 times in the pileup and would not stop.
So Lentis in for the punt attempt by the Seals, number 23. Back deep is Leonovich and Wargo for the Red Tornadoes. They're at their 35-yard line. 4:49 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And they got very close to blocking that. It's a great punt, though. Oh my goodness. You don't want to let them get over your head. And they do again. And the ball down at the 11-yard line, when you never, ever want it to go over your head like that.
I'll tell you what, you take a look at the center coming back for that punt. It's a lob going back. And Cuffey, again, as we've seen all year long, getting so close to blocking that ball. But the punter stayed in there, even with the amount of pressure that was on him, and got all of the leg that he possibly could into that ball and sent it for a ride.
Great kick, a great kick by Lentis. Pins the Red Tornadoes back deep in their own territory where it's 1st and 10. Puts Matsuri in motion. And he hands off to Lashinsky right up the middle there. Lashinsky will pick up 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Red Tornadoes.
That's a very safe play. You're down on the 10-yard line here. You want to try to move the ball and get a little bit of breathing room. Get your back off that goal line a little bit. There's Mike Lashinsky only carried the ball once in the first half. And again, you're looking to surprise Selinsgrove a little bit by putting everybody in motion, moving Pilarski, putting him in motion to the right side.
Lashinsky brings him up and he puts Pilarski in motion, but he hands right up the middle.
Brown.
And that's Brown up the middle. Brown's up over the 15. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, running off tackle, and this time we run to the right side over Bierster and Cuffey over on the left-hand side with Swank in there taking on that linebacker and moving the ball down at least 3 yards.
So Yasenchak comes in with the play as the Red Tornadoes line up, and they'd dearly like to get a 1st down to get some breathing room here. He's got Pilarski in that full house backfield. Pilarski is the deep back, but he doesn't go to him. He goes to Matsura, and Matsura will take it up to the 30-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down. He had a nice hit in there by number 75, I believe, and that's Brocious. Here you see him make the cut. I'm sorry, that's, let's see who.
Yeah, he did, 75.
He's at 75 as he came around and made the play. So the Red Tornadoes forced the kick, and that big punt by Lentes now comes into play as the Seals will get good field position. So they're back at the Seal 45.
Everybody up there.
And he lets it rip, and it's high. It's a fair catch by Barry, number 81. He's in Red Tornado territory at the 46-yard line. And again, that's what happens when you let it go over your head like that. Instead of trying to get back there, at least fair catching it on the fly. But the field position is turned now, and the Red Tornadoes got to get up defensively here and stop the Seals. There's 2 minutes and 32 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter of play with the Red Tornadoes leading 21-14. So Pagana's going to bring him up. He's got a straight I formation. Lawver the fullback. He's got Hackenberg, and he fakes it, and he's going to throw, and he's got Lawver out there in the flat, and Lawver could go, and he may, as Greco is the only guy, and he He's down inside the 5-yard line, and there was some poor tackling down there at the last second by several of us as he's down at the 2-yard line. And we knew we might see that play, and we did. And we were not ready for it.
Yeah,
there it is.
Was just a quick release. There is nobody on Lawver there.
Watch the missed tackles. First it's Letkavich, and he had a tougher shot. Wargo was pretty well blocked, but here's where Greco needed to put him down, and he stopped and fooled him a little bit. And it's going to take Matsura to finally put him down, but not before he gets down to the 2, or 3, I should say. So it's first and goal from the 3 for the Seals as Pagana brings him up and he gives it to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg is in for the score. One play from the 3-yard line, and Hackenberg, and again, this goes back to that field position problem that happened, and that's where we turn this thing around a little bit.
Yeah, it's exactly what it does. You know, good punts give you field position, and then you can see the return punt only ended up on the 46-yard line, and one play to Lawver out on the flats, and then, boy, we've seen, you know, we've contained him on the run to the outside,
yes,
but now all of a sudden you give it to him in the flat, in the open, and, you know, he is a strong football player.
So Rumberger in to attempt the extra point with Pagana holding. Rumberger puts it up, and it's good. And so the score once again is tied at 21-21 here at 2:02 in the third period, and the Seals will not give up here.
No, here, you know, what a game. This is like the championship game, you know, for the state playoffs here.
Yep, the Red Tornadoes, just a couple, and those are little mistakes that we've made a couple times, and they've hurt us every time we've made them. And there's nothing major there. They're just small things you want to do, and you know, that's what gets you. The rain was just a short sprinkle there. It gave up. It is not raining now, just a small amount, and thankfully it may hold off as we get ready here to start play again. Rumberger's going to tee it up, and it's been a whale of a ball game, but the Red Tornadoes are letting the Seals stick around here. Lawver, 2 big plays, both of them for touchdowns, and he's kept the Seals in the ball game all by himself. Yeah, Hackenberg not a force at all tonight.
No, we've certainly stopped Hackenberg, and also we have stopped Lawver, but we had seen that last year. We'd stopped, and boy, he'd come up with the big play. He'd break one, pick up a big first down, big yardage, and then he would score. He did it in the first half last year, and the opening kickoff of the second half, he also did it to us.
So Rumberger's got it teed up there, and he'll start this thing again. It's been an exciting football game here tonight at Seal Stadium. He's going to go down the middle down there, Pilarski. He takes it at about the 7-yard line, and he's going to bring it up. And he's still on his feet, and he's gone. He's got the outside.
He's got it.
He's got it. He may take it all the way, and he will. That will be a touchdown. Get off the field there, 55. No! No! I can't believe this. I can't believe that a touchdown's called back here by Pilarski. I can't believe it. Let's wait. Let's see where they. No. It's a touchdown.
It is a touchdown because I'll tell you what he did. He waited until he scored, and then he threw the flag. Waiting until it scored, it was a dead ball foul.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That was just crazy.
That could have been the end of the season for you right there.
That would have been crazy if that screwed it up. A long touchdown run by Pilarski. Let's get back to the touchdown run first.
I'll tell you what.
And that's a 92-yard run.
92-yard run. Pilarski, the thing was, if you take a look at the way the Seals set up, they try to keep everybody within the hash marks, including their ends. What they do not do is they do not keep you contained on the outside to try to pull you in. And what happened was Pilarski got hit one time down around the 25-yard line. It spun him around and put him in the exact position that he had to be in, and that was running to this sideline towards the Seal bench where they had no coverage.
So Pilarski kicks a long extra point, and he did it. First of all, there's only one guy down there. There's only one umpire underneath the goalpost down there. How did he make that call?
I don't know either.
Oh my goodness, one guy, there you see him, he's standing by himself down there, and he calls the ball wide on the other side. And he called it right. So we're going to give him a lot of credit on that. But where was the other guy at? A good call by the umpire, and you're down there yelling at each other now over it. But that is a crucial play, on a play that just plain was dumb. It was just a dumb play. And now that extra point could mean the ball game.
Yes, it could.
The Red Tornadoes are up 27-21. There is 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the ball game, but that was a very difficult play to watch.
What they truly need now they need a defensive stand. They do have to take control of the ball, and they have to score. And I don't care if it's a touchdown or does Whitecamp have to come out and kick a field goal to pick up those up that point that we lost there.
Very tough play, just all around. We're going to see this thing now. Whitecamp's ready to go. Red Tornadoes in the lead, waning seconds of the third quarter here. The Selinsgrove crowd not happy that flag came as a dead ball flag, but it's correct. Pilarski was in the end zone when he threw it. The Selinsgrove coaching staff not real happy either. But a crucial missed extra point as Whitecamp was forced to kick it from 15 yards further than normal. This is going to bound down, and Scott picks it up now. Eddie Scott picks it up, and he's going to go down, number 45 for the Red Tornadoes, all over Eddie Scott at about the 37-yard line. And that is, I'm sorry, what's the number?
45,
45,
Lashinsky. Mikey Lashinsky.
He brings the Scott or Jones down. The Red Tornadoes now come on defense here as the Seals have it at the Seal 39-yard line or so. And we give it to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg is loose. And Ledkavich will bring Hackenberg down, but not before he picks up 10 yards and most likely the first down when they place it.
Well, I'll tell you what, some excellent blocking on both sides of the offensive line here for the Tornadoes and for the Seals. Take a look at the wash there. Just one big swarm of Seals blocking to the left, and all Hackenberg had to do was step behind the wash and go down and pick up the first down.
High formation for Pagana. First and 10, that was a 10-yard pickup by Hackenberg. And this time Hackenberg again, and this time Hackenberg's not going to pick up much at all as he'll be brought down for about a yard gain or so. Bring up a second down and 9 for the Seals right at the 40-yard line.
I'm just amazed that Lawver is their go-to man. He's the one he's kept them in this game. He's scored the 2 touchdowns for them, and he's not touching the ball.
I think it's just one thing to remember is that Lawver's also been hurt for a good part of the season with a shoulder injury. Now, whether that's come into play or not tonight, I don't know. But you're right; he's been used somewhat more sparingly than we had thought he would be. This time a pitch to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg was originally tripped up there by Cuff, and that set him up to be brought down by Brown down there.
But then here, the thing of it is, they're pitching Hackenberg, and Lawver's blocking for him.
Right.
So you're not saving the shoulder at all.
Under a minute now, under half a minute, at 24 seconds here to go in this third quarter of play. The Red Tornadoes out with a slim 6-point lead, and I say slim here, as this has been a very interesting football game on both sides of the ball.
Trips right, and again, they're probably looking to
Pagana, and he's got Fozzie down there along the sideline. Fozzie's in Mount Carmel area territory down at the 42-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, where it's 1st and 10 Seals, and the Seals are marching right back, and again, that extra point may become the worst nightmare of our lives.
You bet. That might be, again, it boils down to that just might be the season right there. Again, you're taking a look here. Lawver is being used as a blocking man in the backfield that time. You think he sets up in that slot position that he is going to take off and go downfield into the flats, where he has been very, very effective. He scored the last touchdown there. But I think what he did was he stayed back and he picked up the blitzing corner linebacker. It might have been Matsur at that time. And maybe that could have prevented Pagana from throwing the pass over here into the flats.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as the end of the third quarter comes here, I'm reminded of this is WKMC TV, broadcasting directly from the campus of Mount Carmel Area High School. We are an instructional fixed television service, and you catch us every Wednesday night of the football season at 8 p.m. on Channel 13, courtesy of the Service Electric Cable System. And remember, WKMC TV is live in the mornings at 7:30 and every school day, so tune in channel 13, and you will see all the news that's fit to be news in Mount Carmel area. And now a very special announcement. For the first time since you and I have been doing football games, Wayne.
Oh, that's true.
One of the members of the crew will be with us with a headset, and that is truly a remarkable moment. We want to welcome Joe McGinley to us. Joe will be doing some color with us here as we do this fourth quarter of this tight football game. And Joe, it's been something to look at so far.
Indeed it has, Warren. Great game so far by the defense and the offense of both teams, you know.
We go to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg on the what was the option play, which has hurt us several times, but Letkavich, the first guy in, and the Medalas finished him off. But that's a play that hurt us a couple of times, guys.
That's what Letkavich has to do. He's got to release very quickly on that option play and come up and take the pitch man. And you see he comes up and he makes the stop.
All right, Scott, we got second down and 11 as he loses a yard on that option play as Pagano brings him up. He's got a straight I formation in back of him. Keeps the ball, and he's an option the other way this time. And this time Hackenberg's got some more room, but he'll be brought down on the other side by Medalas there. Short of the first down by about 6 yards. It'll bring up third down and 6. Let's see where they place it at.
Third and 7.
But third and 7, Joe, they're going to the option play here in the fourth quarter, one that had some great success with us in the first part of the game.
Well, it seems like it'd be the best thing to do, Warren, like this, so mix it up a little bit, I guess.
So Pagano brings him up. He's got Hackenberg in the backfield alone. He's got Lawver split out, and he's going to look to Lawver, I think, and he does. But it's not Lawver, it's Fozzie, I believe. 43, he's short of the first down by a bunch.
Not only short, but I think that ball sort of hit the ground before he came up with it.
The Seals.
They're going to measure. No, he's giving it to him.
I'm sorry, he is. I didn't think he got it where he was at. So it's first and 10 for the Seals as the Seals now begin to open up that offense a little bit with a little bit more passing and, of course, the option play here in the fourth period as they try to crawl back into this game.
Anything's possible. Both great teams out here tonight.
Lawver this time right up the middle, and he's loose, and Lawver's going in. You don't see Lawver, and then boom, you see Lawver, 32-yard touchdown, and the Seals now have tied it at 27-27, but the extra point to fall, and this is where I said this extra point miss would be crucial to us.
You take a look at, and you're right, they went to Hackenberg the whole time in this series, in this drive coming down, and now all of a sudden they give it to Lawver, and all he did was just straight dive off tackle, and nobody was there. Of course, even to slow him down a little bit, straight down the field for about a 35-yard touchdown.
So Rumberger now will tee it up for the all-important extra point that could put the Seals ahead here at the 10-12 mark of the fourth quarter. He has it up, and it is good. So the Seals take the lead, 28-27, and they will be kicking off to the Red Tornadoes in a seesaw offensive battle here tonight at Seals Stadium.
This one point, I'd like to remind everybody, it could have everything to do with the playoff position for the Mount Carmel Tornadoes. You know, this 1 point could cost them.
Absolutely. It's going to cost them big if we lose by it, and that's hopefully not going to be the case here. The Red Tornadoes will be accepting the kick here in the fourth quarter. Of course, they have their trio down there. They have Wargo down there, Pilarski in the middle, who ran the last one back for a touchdown, and Letkavich over to the far side of the field as Rumberger is going to get ready to tee it up here. The Seals now with the first lead of the ball. I'm sorry, no, they had the lead in the ball game early as they regain the lead here in the fourth quarter of play. Seals taking a little time in the huddle there as they discuss what they need to do. Remember, it was run back on them the last time, so. Rumberger gets it ready. It's going to go down there to Wargo, who's going to pick it up, and Wargo's going to head to the far sideline. He's got a little bit of a crack, and he'll take it up over the 30-yard line out to the Mount Carmel area, 32-yard line where the Red Tornadoes will take it over first and 10. So Big Red's offense got to produce one more time, or at least tonight, as they are now behind by one single point And again, keep in mind the field goal possibilities here with Whitecamp on the sideline, guys.
Just get him in the field goal position. That's all you need.
Go back to pass right away. Shinsky's got plenty of time, and he passes it up the middle down there, and he's got him. No, I'm sorry, it's incomplete. No. He had Medalis rolling there, and I thought he picked it up. He was well covered.
41 came in for Seals and makes the stop there.
More for the Seals.
Yeah, he almost intercepted it, and that's what he's shaking his head about. It was right in his hands, and he dropped it right in the middle of the field.
Nathan Moore is one of the better defensive players of the game tonight I've seen playing.
There, yeah, you're right. He was very close to interception there. And you can see there were 5 Seals around Medalis as he was in the pass pattern. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 now for the Red Tornadoes. Shinsky goes back, and he's going to give it to Pilarski. And Pilarski picks and chooses his way up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, but a flag will bring this back, I'm pretty sure. Personal foul on the Red Tornadoes. That's a murderous penalty to take at this juncture of the ball game. I don't know what that was.
I don't know either, because that flag was thrown as soon as the ball was snapped from the backfield judge there.
Every yard counts, like I said before. Seeing this replay, I don't.
He's throwing it in there. I didn't see through in the middle of the pile there. I don't know what it was. But it's a 15-yarder. It's a painful one. The ball now back at the Mount Carmel area 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and, oh my goodness, it'll be 2nd down about 900 miles there. 2nd down, and you got 10, 15, 16, 26 or so. 2nd down and 26 or so to go. 25, I'm sorry, 2nd down and 25. How could it be any less than that? He puts Matsuri in motion in the shotgun. A lot of pressure this time, a lot of pressure on Shinsky. He gets away from it. He's got to let it go, and he does. He's got Medalis upfield. Interference.
Oh, come on.
We have an interference here, which
nobody's calling.
Both guys have forgot to call. And it doesn't get any more blatant than that, folks. That was defensive interference on the pass receiving team.
Oh, that was bad.
A non-call that will go big in this game if the Red Tornadoes lose, and that was a mistake by the ref.
Yeah, there's a flag over on the far side on the line of scrimmage, but I'll tell you what, Medalis was open, and he was just reaching for that ball when he was tripped up.
I don't know what the penalty on the far side is, but normally it looks like it'll go against the Red Tornadoes, and it does. But the non-call upfield there, painful. And the Red Tornadoes have kind of dismantled offensively here in a crucial part of the 4th period.
Dave makes a great play, though. There is a lot of pressure coming in. He's back in the shotgun position, and I'll tell you what, he left that ball going. It was right on the money until Medalis was tripped up.
The way I think about it is if that defender would have been any closer or any more on to Medalis than he was, I think he would have been wearing a number 1 jersey with him.
Pretty much. That was a tough non-call there, although there was another penalty on the play which would have negated it either way. But the Red Tornadoes, the Seals decline the ineligible guy downfield, I guess. I'm not sure what we're calling right now here. They're going to mark something off here. There were 2 penalties. There were 2, gang. So it's already 3rd and 26.
And that's the reason.
Now it's going to be 3rd and I'm not sure the scoreboard.
I don't even know what the second one is.
It's 3rd down now and 3rd down.
It's about
34, 35 yards to go. Shinsky in shotgun formation as the Red Tornadoes, and he punts it. He quick kicks it on 3rd down. If it tails, and it does, that's perfect. As he puts the ball out to the Red Tornado 45-yard line on the quick kick. A nice kick by Shinsky to get us out of some pretty ugly trouble at 3rd and 34, guys.
I mean, that by coaches, that is a great call there. Gets it, and you are right. It puts us back, and you can see the Seals were putting a lot of pressure on. They were coming in, especially on the shotgun formation. They were releasing the 2 cornerbacks and putting pressure on, and That was a great call. Dave Shinsky back there and makes a great punt back to the 45-yard line.
Hackenberg on the pitch, and Hackenberg will be brought down for gain a yard and a play by Cuff, 2nd down and 9.
Getting Cuff and Yasenchak in there to make that stop. Hackenberg, pretty much we've contained him, and again, they lull you to sleep with Hackenberg, and they come back with Lawver, and Lawver just hurts you every time.
Defense better crank it up a few notches on Lawver if they want to get anything accomplished here.
Lawver now, and he's breaking free again, and he's loose in the backfield. Finally brought down in there, but not before a big gain. Lawver is unstoppable here with the game on the line, folks. He puts it down at the Red Tornado 25-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Seals, and they can't stop him anymore, Wayne.
I'll tell you what, it's unbelievable. Every time Hackenberg touches that ball, we're in the hole. We're stopping, we're doing this, doing that. And as soon as Lawver touches it, there's a hole in there for him to run through, and as soon as he gets past the linebackers, he's got a head of steam on him, and he's hard to bring down.
High formation, Hackenberg, and he just runs straight ahead there. He's both chewing time up and a couple of yards at a time. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 as he picked up 2 yards on the play. And time, Joe, is everything.
Time is certainly everything, Warren. Time and yardage, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's 7:55, and you can see the Seals taking their time here. They're using up as much of the clock as possible.
So Pagana brings him up. He's got Hackenberg, and
So does
Swank
Swank.
is all over Hackenberg for a loss on the play of about 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 12.
Now you have to watch here if they get down here, pick up a 1st down. Their extra point kicker, we'd seen him last year, number 45. Rumberger can also kick the ball. And, with them putting it on the scoreboard, an extra 3 points, we have to score a touchdown to win this game.
So now on a 3rd and 12, Pagana has a split backfield. He'll go back to pass. That short drop back, and he passes it. He was trying to get Fozzie down there, and wasn't close. He was closer to Wargo than he was Fozzie. And it brings up a 4th down, and now the Seals, I assume, are going to try to a field goal?
They
are. I think they are going
Yep.
to. How long is that one going to be?
It's on the 30 to 26, back 5. It'll be about a 36-yard field goal.
So Rumberger, number 45, in for the Seals to attempt a 38-yard field goal attempt. As he lines up, and the snap is good. He's got it up there. I mean, he's got him.
And he's got it.
Got it. There it is. It's good. A 36-yard field goal by Rumberger, and the Seals are now up 31-27 over the Red Tornadoes at the 6:55 mark of the 4th quarter.
Now that hurt. The extra point was not as bad as what this one is. This one here now forces the Tornadoes to drive that ball down the field and get over the goal line, Warren.
Now Carmel traditionally, as you know, though, is always a running team. They have the capability of doing it. It's just a matter if they do it or not.
So they're back to receive the kick here at 6:55, as we said, left in this football game. 6:55 left in the Red Tornado season, pretty much.
Don't cut him out yet, Warren.
As Rumberger is going to tee this thing up.
Well, the Seals must have made some adjustments defensively against the rush for the second half here, because they've done a fairly good job in defending the pass also, but stopping anything that we've put on the ground.
Primarily Brownie, Dave Brown.
Rumberger tees it up here.
Take a look over there on the opposite side, right in front of our bench, Warren. You see that end man, he's over on the hash mark.
It's going to bounce high, and it bounces to Wargo down around the 13-yard line as he's going to turn it upfield and He brought down hard in there about the 26-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, where they're going to take it over 1st and 10. And they are down by 4 here in the ball game as Shinsky will get them teed up and ready to go.
Now they just have to take their time. They have to be patient. They have to go out and they have to make the good blocks. They have to move the ball down the field. They don't have to do it all in one shot. You see we have Dave Brown, number 51, in the backfield now.
And Brown has it. He'll go right up the middle. He's still churning. He churns it up to the 31-yard line. Pick up about 4 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Red Tornadoes.
He took that off right tackle and hit the line there, stopped. His motion continued over to the left. He actually took it just about close to the hash mark on the left-hand side.
I think a big question everybody is asking themselves now is, did the Red Tornadoes eat their Wheaties this morning?
Shinsky back to pass. He looks quickly. He's got Medalis, and Medalis will have the 1st down. The 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes. Ball up at the 37-yard line.
See defensively for the Seals, number 80 and 81 go in. They're going back in the defensive cornerback positions, getting some fresh legs in there for the Seals.
This time it's Pilarski. Pilarski will squirt forward, but for very little yardage. You should pick up 2 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Red Tornadoes.
Sort of a strange play that is as we give it to the tailback. Actually, Pilarski is running to the left. The blocking is going to the right.
Yeah.
He's not following the blockers.
5:25 now remaining here in the 4th quarter.
5 points is all that Mount Carmel needs.
Mansour comes in motion. And Shinsky hands it right off in the middle to the big guy. If he gains a yard, he'll be lucky. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 now for the Red Tornadoes. And there's a Red Tornado down on the field. And that's the big guy, number 59 for the Red Tornadoes. Bierster. And Doc is out to look at him as well as everyone else. Check to see where he is.
I think Nick sort of got tied up in the wash there as he was blocking down. Brown was right behind him, and I think Nick sort of got twisted a little bit, and Brown came down on the back of his leg.
So there's 5 minutes and 1 second remaining here in this ball game for the Red Tornadoes to score and go into the district play and defend their state championship or not. And we will see what Coach Brennan and his group has to go over there. Bierster, a big loss for the Red Tornadoes if he doesn't come back in there. He's still on the ground. They're looking at his leg. And
he must be seriously hurt, bringing down a capper like.
Now pounding on the door. They need to put it in for a touchdown and take the lead as Wargo runs out of the huddle there. And I'm going to see if they throw a flag or not.
No, he was out before
they broke. Brown, the big guy, and Brown takes it over the 10-yard line down to about the 9.
Yep.
Where it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Pickup of about 3 yards there. Dave Brown, carrying 3 guys with him, and maybe at this point that's what you need. The defense for the Seals have been doing an outstanding job with their lateral pursuit, and just a straight dive play to Dave Brown. A little bit of blocking in there is going to get him over that goal line.
3:40 remaining here in the ball game. It's 2nd down and 6. And this is Mansour, and Mansour down about the 5-yard line.
Good move by Mansour there. He had a defender right in front of him. He shuffled to the left, and it continued right up through the hole.
3rd and 3 now for the Red Tornadoes. The ball sitting squarely on the Selinsgrove Seal 5-yard line.
Quite possibly would be one of the biggest plays of the year for the Tornadoes.
Oh, Joe, you are making an understatement on that one. The next 2 if we don't make it on this one. But this is where it all counts here now as the Red Tornadoes break the huddle. This is where you don't want to make a mistake. You got Brown and Metsura in the backfield in a split backfield behind Shinsky. And he goes to Metsura, and Metsura dropped the ball, and it's recovered by the Seals at the 5. The ball squirted out of Metsura's hands.
I think he's calling it 4th down. He called it down.
Yeah.
The linesman over here on the line judge on this side over here called it. He was down before that ball even squirted out.
2 minutes and 37 seconds left, and you're right, the replay shows his knees down. So that was a good call by the ref. The replay shows it clearly here. The Selinsgrove people are not agreeing with this, but the ball was down when he dropped it out. 32, the clock is still running, 27, 26 seconds. The clock is not stopped.
That's the timeout clock.
We have a timeout clock here. I never knew that. I didn't see that. Hey, don't be putting new stuff in here without telling me this stuff. My goodness. I was just about to have him arrested. So the timeout. Yeah.
Okay, we got the Tornadoes calling a timeout here to regroup on the sidelines to make some type of
coincidence. It's a coincidence when that happens. Chuck Smelt's up in the booth with us tonight, folks. We all remember from that 3-0 game. We talked about that during the Shikellamy game. He's up here with us tonight in the Selinsgrove box. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left. It is 4th down and 3. Shinsky's back to pass, and he is nailed at the 15-yard line, and that will turn the ball over to the Seals with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left. And that, folks, could very well be the ball game unless the Red Tornadoes going to wrestle this ball back.
They make a good call there. They tried to freeze the linebackers up. Dave comes up, but there was a lot of pressure from that backside where Dave never even saw number 67 coming through to make it to tackle on him.
So the Seals now in control of this football game. The ball out at the 12-yard line where it is 1st and 10, 2:32 remaining in the ball game. And they're going to come up and start grinding the ball with Lauver and Hackenberg as Pagana has them in that I formation. And he goes to Hackenberg, and Hackenberg is going to be stopped in there by number 21, Matsura. And the Red Tornadoes will call timeout, I believe.
Yeah,
they do call timeout. He picked up about 2 yards in the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8.
They'll take us down to 1 timeout left here. The important thing is that they cannot, 2nd down and 9, they have to make a good stop again for the next down to make sure that they do not pick up the 1st down. This game is over for all intent and purposes as the Seals pick up 9 yards.
So a big game here tonight, a couple of crucial errors. More than the fact that we're made 2 or 3 or 4 errors that will come back to haunt us if we don't win this game here. But it was a tough game. Certainly both sides of the ball. Everybody lived up to expectations here, did the things they were supposed to do. The Red Tornadoes now just coming up short on points here. They're 4 points behind, and the Seals have the ball. It's 2nd and 8. The ball is on the Red Tornado, or the Seal 13 or 14-yard line. I can't do the angle's tougher, but right around there. As Pagana will bring him up. He's got Lauver and Hackenberg again in that familiar I formation, and this time he's going to give it to Lauver, and Lauver is going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and the Red Tornadoes quickly call another timeout as they want to get the ball back.
Timeouts. Now Colonel sidelines, all they got to do is cross their fingers.
2 good defensive plays there by the line. One stopping Hackenberg coming to this side, but most importantly stopping Lauver over on the right-hand side. He's been deadly, even though he's only touched the ball a number of times tonight, Warren. He has really hurt us on 2 very long runs, and he scored on both of them.
He's a fabulous athlete.
Yes, he is. He's unbelievable. That's what I said. He's a blue chipper for any small college to pick up.
Yeah, he's just a fabulous athlete. He's fun to watch. He's a hard-nosed kid. He plays hard-nosed football, and that's what you like to see. And it's really paying off for him tonight as he's had a great football game. Selinsgrove all around played a good football game. Made the defensive plays when they needed to, certainly, and that's how you win football games. And now they need to hopefully they need to get a first down, because that's what's really going to seal it for them. If they need to kick, it's going to be a little more dangerous for them. The Red Tornadoes need to hold them here. They'll line up in that I formation. This is where Coach Scott's not going to do a lot of goofy stuff here.
This has to be going to Lover. If it's not, I'll really be surprised.
It is a pass play, and it does go to Lover. And Lover will pick the first down up, and he will score.
That's it.
Lover all the way from the 15-yard line on a pass play, puts it in the end zone and ends the game and the season pretty much for the Red Tornadoes. And Lover has been absolutely phenomenal. I don't know what his stats are, but they're going to be big. I mean, they are going to be big. Justin Lover will end his regular season career here with an absolute bang, if you want to say it that way. He is truly, truly a great athlete. It's been fun watching him for 2 years. It would have been more fun if we beat them. but we got to give him due where it is, and it is due there. Rumberger in for the extra point. The score right now is 37-27 before the extra point. There's 2:05 remaining here in the football game. And Lover was just 2 pass plays that he caught were both touchdowns.
Yeah, we're both touchdowns. It's out in the flat, too. It's nothing fancy. He sets up, and it's just a delayed release. He gets out onto the flat where he's open, and I'll tell you what, for a kid his size, 205 pounds, take a look at the speed that he has when he took off down the sidelines.
So Rumberger will tee it up to kick off. The Red Tornadoes in dire trouble right now. They pretty much need to run this thing back and then hold them to get it back in this football game. It's now an 11-point bulge for the Seals here in the waning moments of the football game, in the waning moments of the season maybe for the Red Tornadoes. And I say maybe in that there's still some juggling to go on with the Eastern Conference, whatever that might be. So they'll line it up here. The Seals are in command now, and they know it.
Must be nice to be a Selinsgrove fan tonight.
It definitely is. They're all in front of us. They're all on their feet, and they're throwing the footballs around. One girl's got an arm down there that may send it right through this window, so I'm a little bit concerned about her. I keep my eye on her when she starts throwing, guys. But I'll tell you what, Joe, as we wait for them to kick this thing off, I'm glad you came up. I truly am. I wish you would have done so earlier in the season even. We always hope one of you guys decide you want to try the microphone out, and I am glad you did. I'm sorry we didn't go further into the season, because hopefully you would have spent more time with us, and hope you enjoyed it.
It's been something I've been waiting to do for a long time.
Well, good. I'm glad you did, and hopefully you'll set the stage for other guys to do the same thing, and girls. Come up here and talk with us and spend time in the game. Chicatano will pick the ball up around the 30. He's going to give some ground as he tries to get around the end, and he won't. So he'll go down around the 26-yard line, where the Red Tornadoes will take it over 1st and 10, and they need to score points very quickly with 1:56 remaining here in the ball game.
Yeah, what they need to do is not only score points, but any pass plays they throw have to be out of bounds. They have to kill the clock. They have no timeouts left. Score as quickly as they can, and then, of course, you're going to see an onside kick because they need the ball back again.
I see a passing game coming up here.
You think? You're willing to lay that one on the line, are you? Fake it to Pilarski. Pilarski back to pass, and
Beautiful
he's got
catch.
Wargo in the middle there, and Wargo's off to the races a little bit. He dropped the ball.
He got it.
Pagana was tackling him. He dropped the ball. The Red Tornadoes recovered it into Seal territory all the way down at the Seal 32-yard line. And I believe it was Matsura trailing him, if I'm not mistaken.
And then that kills the clock for them until the chains are set. And as soon as the chains are set, then the clock will start. There's 1 minute and 44 seconds left.
So a big play by Shinsky to Wargo all the way down, and they're in Seal territory again at the 33-yard line.
Seeing that replay, looks like he got his hand up underneath the ball.
Shinsky back to pass, plenty of time. He's looking over there, and he's got Medalis. Medalis goes out of bounds down around the 17-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 once again for the Red Tornadoes.
Smart decision, run out of bounds, stop the clock with no timeouts left. It's the best thing to do in a situation like this.
Seals can afford to give a score up here. That's why they're not quite as worried as you might think, as they're out to an 11-point bulge here. And there's a minute 27 remaining here in the ball game. Shinsky under some pressure this time. He looks down and he's got Matsura, and Matsura's going to go out at the 3-yard line where it's 1st and goal from the 3-yard line for the Red Tornadoes.
But again, you're putting a little bit of pressure on your receiving team here, because you know if the Tornadoes score that this is going to be an onside kick. And we've seen stranger things happen, Warren.
Oh, absolutely. This game's not over, folks, especially with such an easy drive downfield by the Red Tornadoes. I'm a little surprised the Seals have given so much ground up here so late in the ball game.
And so quickly, you know what I mean?
So he's got Lashinsky and Pilarski in the backfield and back in that I formation, and he will go back and pass, and he does. And he was trying to get Matsura down there. He was well covered in there by number 80, and that's Colin Mitchell for the Seals, as he was all over number 21, Matsura.
It's nice defensive coverage.
So it stops the clock at 1:17. It's now 2nd and goal from the 3 for the Red Tornadoes.
Dave up there talking to the referee, and I think rightfully so. I think number 80 was sort of all over Matsura's back as he was coming across the goal line there.
Puts Matsura in motion behind him now as he takes the snap, and he goes right back to pass. A lot of pressure, and I think he's got his big tight end down there, doesn't he? That's Yasenchak at the 1.
The 1 now.
Now they've got to line up here quickly.
Yeah.
Clock is ticking. They're down at the 1. It's 3rd now. 3rd and goal from the 1.
And we are under a minute.
Actually, it's less than 1 where they sit down at. And Shinsky will take it in for the touchdown. He does, I think, as they try to unpile.
Well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to take their time unpiling it.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Carmel.
So the Red Tornadoes score at the 43-second mark of the 4th quarter, and now it's going to be 38-33, and I think the Red Tornadoes go for 2 here.
Well, it doesn't matter because they need another score, exactly.
So another exciting offensive football game, as both schools have scored over 30 points here, and I still believe the Red Tornadoes go for 2 here, and they will. That'll bring them back to that field goal deficit then, right?
Now the only thing is I don't know if Phil had said anything about what would happen if we had tied tonight.
Yeah, well, Phil didn't, so
yeah, that's right.
Let's not worry about that right now. As the Red Tornadoes line up to go for 2 here with under a minute to go, Shinsky moves Brown to the other side, and he'll take that shotgun pass, and it hits Brown. And it's not going to be any good. He moved Brown over to one side, and the center snap hit him. He wasn't even looking at it. So the 2-point conversion falls short on a somewhat odd mistake there by the Red Tornadoes.
Shinsky was trying to set Brown up because he saw the pressure coming in from the right side. They were releasing the corner man, and Shinsky was looking for a little bit of protection.
So the Red Tornadoes now line up to kick off at 43 seconds remaining here, and this will be an onside kick for the Red Tornadoes. The Seals will have all their people up there as they try to protect and get the hold of the ball. If they do recover the ball, that'll be the ball game. And the rain now, as we speak, begins to come down in a pretty good sheet. At the last moment of this football game, it begins to rain heavy, so it held off long enough to get it in.
Well, that's good for us, though, because you're talking about a slick ball hitting the ground right at this point.
Yep. So we're going to see something different here, I believe, in that Medalis is lining up to kick the onside kick. And I don't think we saw that this year, have we? Have we seen him line up to do a kick of any type? So Medalis is going to set it down there and line it up.
I think with the kicking situation, I think we'd understand why we didn't see Medalis out there.
Right, with Whitecamp, you're right. And I guess Whitecamp, I guess he kicks him into the end zone, but he's not real good at not kicking him like 10 yards or so. I'm guessing that's what it is, because this is basically bringing in a specialist here to. Okay, we reset the clock at 45 seconds here. And Dallas will do the onside kick, and he's got all the Seals, and the Seals call timeout right away. Number 80 on the close side of the field down there, Colin Mitchell, turned to the official and called a timeout immediately. And I guess they were not happy with who they had in what position there, Wayne. But they had enough time to get everybody there, and they didn't do it.
They had enough of time to get everybody there, especially with putting 1.5 seconds back on the clock. But, you know, the problem was that and they had everybody over there. I don't understand why they called timeout. Unless number 80, they were trying to get number 80 over there because that is an offensive end number. You know, somebody got over there with hands here. They're trying to get the quarterback number 11 in, and number 88 comes out. So, you know, we're trying to get as many guys, Selinsgrove, over there on the right-hand side as possible.
Might be a little thing George Bush would call strategery.
You think, though? That's a good way to look at that, Joe. That's a good way to look at it here. I'm not sure how many things you could do different on this, but certainly they're making a production out of this final kick here, as now they're happy now what they want. And yeah, well, the change here is that they brought those two guys close here and they took them over and put them where they belong. That's really what it was.
Look at everybody over there.
And that's a real overshift going there. If he kicks it the other way, they're in trouble.
Nah. Did not go 10 yards.
Didn't go 10 yards, so the ball will be blown dead.
That's it.
And that's the ball game for all intents and purposes, that it's sitting at the Mount Carmel area 40-yard line where the Seals take over. And we couldn't get the onside kick off, although I would have kicked it the other way.
Yeah.
I would have come to the Seals side as soon as they moved everybody over to the Mount Carmel side. I mean, I don't know if the way he has it lined up, could he do that?
No, he could do that. So somebody else could do it. You know, it didn't much matter. Matt didn't have to do that. But, no, you're right. They had everybody over there. Nobody was over here right in front of the bench.
So Pagana will bring him up. The rain now starting to come down heavier and heavier here at Selinsgrove. And it's kind of a fitting end to the game and the season for the Red Tornadoes here. As he'll bring him up, and they'll do nothing but protect the ball with 45 seconds remaining in the ball game as he snaps the ball. And he just takes a knee.
It's the first time in a long time we've seen something like this. The Tornadoes season ending with 10 games only.
Absolutely. So we may look at the Eastern Conference depending on what goofy things have happened there. There's about 97 different things that have happened, but I'm not too sure we're even in there. But we guarantee you we're not in the district playoffs with this loss tonight, and the Mount Carmel area will not defend either its District 4 crown or its championship crown this year. Pagano will bring him up. There's 14 seconds. He'll need to snap the ball one more time. He does, and that's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. The Seals rush the field. They will win this ball game. The Selinsgrove area Seals 38. The Red Tornadoes of Mount Carmel area 33. An interesting football game, a good football game offensively. The two defenses probably need to talk about themselves a little bit as a bunch of points got put up on the board, but an entertaining football game, and that's become pretty much, guys, the way the Selinsgrove area rivalry has gone in the last few years here.
This has definitely turned into a rivalry. I'll tell you, some great hard-nosed football was played tonight, Warren. We saw it last year. We see it again tonight. As we said when I talked to Jose down there, you know, he said he couldn't believe how hard the hitting was. One thing that Jose did tell me, though, that Dave had thrown 2 more receptions tonight, and that does put him into the second position as an all-time career passer for the Tornadoes. Mike Higgins is in that first position now. You remember Dave has another year to go. Mike Higgins has, I think, 345 or something like that. This now puts Dave at about 225.
Well, guys, there's not a whole lot we can do. Again, I want to say thanks to Joe for coming up and joining us. Joe, are you a senior?
I'm a junior.
So we'll see you next year, correct?
Correct.
Correct. I want to mean that now.
I'll be back.
Once you up, and you might as well come up in the beginning of the season and get this thing rolling here.
I've been in the place since 7th grade. I have no intentions on leaving.
We can give you all of our renowned experience, which would take about the first 3 minutes of the first game of the season, and then you're on your own. That's all we can give you. But it was good to have you here. It really was.
It's been a pleasure being here.
I want to thank the entire crew. And, of course, Joe knows what that crew does out here. They had on-field cameras on an away game, which is always a difficult proposition. They managed to do that tonight and give you some great shots that way. It's been a great season. I said, watch the papers. You'll know by the time this telecast comes on whether or not we had squeaked into the Eastern Conference or not, and you'll know what that schedule is by that time. Otherwise, pay attention to the paper and to the announcements from WKMC TV in the mornings, where they are live at 7:30, and you'll find out the basketball schedule that will be broadcast. Of course, boys and girls basketball
and
will
wrestling.
come your way, and wrestling later in the season as the wrestling team cranks that up. You'll see wrestling from Mount Carmel Area High School. So a full autumn and winter full of sports still to come on WKMC TV, and you do not want to miss that. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, from Seal Stadium, I am Warren Altamar.
And Wayne Brokenshire.
Joe McGinley.
For WKMC TV, good night.